Hey guys, welcome back to another layout update. So once again, it's been a really long time since I've done my last update, but I've got a lot of work done around the layout. I've got a bunch of new stuff to show you guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first new thing here is my brand new Kato SD90/43 Mac. It is not currently DCC ready, nor does it have any sound features or anything. Nor have I actually gotten the time around to detailing it. I do have the parts out ready to detail it, but I don't want to install the decoder until, I don't want to add most of the details till I get a decoder installed in there. So as soon as I get a decoder in there, I will detail this thing up and it will be good to run. I picked this up at the Bonneville train show for, I can't remember how much. Anyway, not important. Let's move on to the next thing. Alright, so this is the second thing I bought at the Bonneville train show. It is the Ather Genesis GP38-2 with Tsunami sound, and I'll go ahead, start it up, let you guys have a listen, and we'll go over some of the sound features. Alright, so there's the startup sequence. Here's the bell, horn, and throttling up. We're going to go backwards. Here's the headlight, ditch lights, Alright, so there we go. It's a really nice locomotive. Runs very smoothly, pulls actually a fair amount for its size, and has tons and tons of detail. There's just so much put into this new Ather Genesis unit, it's astounding. And here's the shutdown sequence. So, yeah, there you have it, the Ather Genesis GP38-2, and so let's go ahead and move on to the next thing I've been working on. Alright, so here is my Line ST60. It's nothing new. I got this a few months, about a year ago when I went out to British Columbia, but I have installed a Tsunami sound decoder into this, so it makes it the third engine I've had sound installed in. For those of you who are new, the other two are obviously the GP38-2 and an ES44AC. So I'll let you go ahead and listen to this. Here's the bell, the horn, throttling up. So there's the third last locomotive that I gotta show you guys, and let's go ahead and take a look at the last one. Alright, so last but not least, this is a new Proto 2000 GP60. It's my first Proto 2000 locomotive, and I must say the detail on these things are actually pretty good. I'm starting to lean away from the old Ather and RTR units and get into some other brand names just to see what's out there. I picked this up at a hobby shop that was going out of business for a reasonably good price, and getting the decoder in this was a little tricky. I wasn't quite sure how to do it, and then I went online and figured out how. And it's just removing the dynamic brake hatch in the center here, and it just pops off, and you just got to be careful of the horn and a couple other detail parts. When you get this thing out of the box, there are quite a few detail parts to add to it, such as a plow, ditch lights on the front and rear, and some rooftop parts like an air conditioner and a couple other hose lines and whatnot. So I have yet to get those installed. It does come with a drill template to help with the installation, but I just haven't had the time with school and everything. And so yeah, it's a good locomotive. I do have a decoder in there, like I said, but the decoder is acting up for whatever reason. I can make it move forward. I can throttle it up, but I can't slow it down for whatever reason unless I hit emergency stop, which is kind of annoying, but I'll figure it out eventually. I'm probably just going to fit it with a different decoder. And for those of you who are curious, it takes a 9-pin decoder. Alright, so let's move on to some of the new rolling stock I've got. Alright, so I'm going to try something a little differently here this time to show you some of my new rolling stock. I'm going to do a roll by and just to make things a little simpler and less editing. But anyway, first off, here my first new piece of rolling stock is a 80M grain hopper. I got in a trade with Awesome Rail Fan. It's a Walther's make, I believe. Really nice car, nice detail, nice graffiti as well, which was a nice touch from Awesome Rail Fan. Moving on down, got two Atlas ACFX pressure center flow hoppers, I believe. One that says DMYA, I believe, and the other is JM Huber. And towards the back here, I have 4 Atlas coal cars. I had one for a while, but I really liked it, so I decided to pick up the other 3 over the course of the summer. And last but not least is a Conrail caboose I got in a trade with Awesome Rail Fan. It's just an Ather and blue box, but it is a nice caboose, so it runs good, and I'll probably use it on some of my maintenance of way trains. But anyway, that basically concludes all the rolling stock and locomotives portion of this, so I'm going to dismount the camera here and show you what I've done around the layout. So, to start things off, I finally started doing some new ballast work around here. It's not quite the same color as the rest of the yard, so I'm probably going to remove it and just continue on with the color it has right now. Sorry, with the color that's all everywhere else. Here's one car I forgot to mention. Is a Atlas Masterline BNSF gondola with a cover. Awesome Rail Fan picked that up for me on his trip down to the States, and it's a really nice car, and thank you to him. Here is the Pike Stuff small engine house, and currently it's housing something a little bigger than a switcher, but it's a nice kit. I just was wanting to get one for a while, and I finally found a place that had them. So only downfall to it is that it didn't have an engine door, so I had to go ahead and make my own, and it actually turned out really nicely. It went together pretty quick. Over here I have 3 retaining walls that are going to go here when I get when I get a tunnel portal here, and they'll just work their way down here, and they are progressively going to get shorter as they go down, so they're taking contour to some of the hill. This section of track right here that basically runs all the way down to the beginning of the yard ladder, I'm going to remove that just because it's not going to work well with the hill that's going to come down here. I was originally going to put a retaining wall, but that wasn't going to look good and it just would be way too much. But I will be putting a retaining wall back in here, as well as up on that portion. Going over here, got 2 trailers for my flatbed. Sorry, the trailer train car. I'll just pull this over here real quick. Excuse me, sorry. As a Rapido caboose, I'm custom painting. It came as an undecorated caboose, and I'm just custom painting that myself to the Conrail scheme that you see on the packaging. And of course the interior is lighted, but due to poor electrical contact, as you can see there, but I'll just, depending on how you sit it, it actually lights and then doesn't, light, doesn't. It's kind of annoying. So there's a little metal tab on the bottom there for the focus. Not going to. Anyway, there's a metal tab that runs from the bottom of the, top of the truck frame to the bottom of the car, and I'm going to probably solder a wire to that just so it keeps contact, and hopefully that improves it. But anyway, I finally finished the top portion of the grain tower. Unfortunately, I'm not going to add on the other one of these that's supposed to go there just because I messed this one up, and yeah. Last but not least, I'm going to go over something I plan to do here for a little while. Is because I have a number of, sorry about the light, I have a number of large locomotives, 6 axles, and a lot of them don't really work well on this curved turnout just because this outer one is a 22 inch and this it goes to an 18 inch, and some of the cars have a difficult time getting up there as well just because the coupler box doesn't have a lot of swing. So what I plan to do, and I have the turnout, I've just got to get around to doing it, is I'm going to take this Atlas Mark IV turnout and I'm going to put it roughly about here, which means I will have to move this road and everything. But basically, because it's so progressive on turning on, it's actually so progressive on moving over, it is a lot better for 6-axle locomotives to get from the main line into the yard, and some of my larger rolling stock I can take over that turnout as well and put it into the yard. I do have an auto rack and of course I have this car that don't work well, so I'll hopefully get that figured out. And again, I do have to get another turnout to go here, and depending on what kind of turnout it is, I mean, the 6-axle locomotives do make it around the 18-inch curves on their own. Some of them have a difficult time depending on which way they're going, but it's just the change that some of them, it's just the turnout on the other end there. But I've just got to figure out where exactly I'm going to put this and a corresponding turnout on this end. And with this one, as you can might be able to see there is a tab, copper tab, that I have to put a wire to because the frog is powered. And I have another one of these Caboose Industries ground throws right here that is basically going to go in this area somewhere to work this turnout. And hopefully by Christmas that will be done and I can carry on operations. But anyway, that basically concludes this layout update. Again, I apologize this took so long to get it to you guys. I hope it was worth the wait. I do have a few rail fanning videos to post. Not too sure when I'm going to get the time to do that, but school's keeping me really busy. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys, and just to thank you guys, a little while ago I hit 500 subscribers, and I think I'm up to 524 now. But again, thanks for all the support for the many years I've been doing this. I think I started this channel back in 2008, so it slowly worked its way up there, but even I'm amazed that I actually got up to 500, and let alone 524, so thank you to all my subscribers, and it really helps me out, so thanks again, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this little update. There will be plenty more to come in the future, and yeah, stay tuned for those. Until then, take care.